What's the word? Your man Slap Shot you here. Oh, what's it get? Queens. This is like the borderline of Brooklyn and Queens. I got special guest, Miss
How you
G.
doing? It's good.
Chillin', how you been, man?
Good, bro. Good.
Got you. All right, then. So this is the second time we met up. The first time I thought you was a photographer, I believe, because you had the camera. Yeah, the camera. But actually, you're a dope artist. You play some songs, no problem. So how would you describe your music? Because I don't know if I'm articulate enough to necessarily put it into words. It's definitely different. How would you explain the music?
The best way I could say is like, the first thing that comes to my head is different, of course. But I would say it's like powerful. You know, like you can feel my energy in each song. And I've been actually working to like bring some more like purity in my music. When I started off making music, I was making very aggressive, like angry, hostile music. Like, and it's nothing wrong with that, cause like, you know,
It's art too.
yeah, exactly. But right now, I would say to describe it, it's become more like spiritual and like uplifting, a lot more transparent emotionally. So yeah.
So what's the cause for the shift?
A lot of different things, man. I made some big changes in my life a few years back. 2019, I became sober, so I stopped smoking, drinking, sipping, popping, sniffing, whatever, you know. So that was a big part in this shift, and I'm extremely grateful for that, because a lot of things in that also changed my personal life, you know, outside of my artistic realm. So,
got you. That's a thing to talk about, because a lot of people feel like, you know, like maybe like how did your fans react to you being sober? Because I know like a lot of fans who might listen to an artist who might be into like drugs originally. Once they sober up, they be like, oh yeah, you know, there's no, you know.
It's interesting. I think I was on this like trajectory to kind of change my lifestyle anyway. I think like I knew I had bad habits. I knew I was like overindulgent. So a lot of people were actually very receptive to it, on like the, I guess, fan side of it, like, you know, and I guess once people saw that like the art and the music was also improving, they were like, oh, so this is a good thing.
Oh,
like,
okay,
okay. We love this new Tsunami, you know, so it wasn't a big deal. You know?
Oh, okay, that's fine. All right, then cool. So is it just as easy to get inspiration?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've heard a lot of people complain about that.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, like you said, you know, when we first met, you know, you saw me with a camera in my hand.
Yeah.
So I make sure like I stay active, whether it's actively making music, actively engineering, actively producing, taking photos, shooting videos, editing, you know, styling, making some clothes. I'm making sure I'm always actively doing something creative. You know?
Where your creativity come from, man?
I don't want to say that my creativity has come from like years of me, you know, using substances, but I think life experience. You know, like I've been a lot of places. You know, I've traveled most of America. You know, major cities. I've been outside of the country as well. Panama, Costa Rica, Germany, Poland. You know, the islands. So I've seen a lot of different things, and life has presented itself to me in different ways. But also, one thing I hear a lot of people that relate to it, but traumatic experiences, sometimes give you that oomph, that
creative, that creative spark.
Yeah, it puts the battery in your back for real. But it's like it's no reason I didn't go through this for no reason.
That's a fact. That's dope. All right, so your travels and stuff like that, how does it contribute to your music? I mean, is it like listening to other styles of music, or maybe I just see visually, aesthetically, how to fit something into like a beat or a song, because you produce your own music and everything too. So like, how does like travel fit into your music? Because a lot of people only seen the block. So how would you say travel works into that?
I think travel is very important. I actually look to help provide that opportunity for more people, whether it's like in service or if it's just like personal travels. But I just think that seeing things outside of your like immediate reality kind of creates like a different state of mind for you. It helps allow you to understand that there's more than what you know, because oftentimes we only see the picture that we're painted. So if someone is steady sitting here telling me, your sweater is cream, that's all I know. But if we go in another light over there somewhere else, and I see it differently, that the sweater, it might be white or khaki or something. You know what I'm saying? So you just seeing things from different perspectives allows you to broaden your state of mind.
Gotcha. So, are you proud of your growth so far?
Hell yeah, absolutely, man. I wouldn't be here without God. That's first and foremost. Like I was delivered from a lot of life or death situations. Like physically, mentally, in the streets. Just dumb shit. Everybody has those few experiences, but for me it was like monumental.
Yes. All right. So now, going back into the music. Now you starting your own record label.
Yeah.
Okay then. And what that about? What was the spark for that?
Shoot, it's a long story, but back when I first started making music about like 2016, so I'm relatively new to music, but I picked it up so quickly because of who I surrounded myself with. But around a year into me and my music experiences, I met these dudes from Ohio. At the time, they went by Cisco Pink. And they had asked me to be a part of their collective. It was interesting how we met because they were in the city, homeless. And
New York?
Yeah, New York City. And they came into my park across the street from my house. They saw me, I had my skateboard and shit. That's when I was on my skateboard and shit. And they were like, yo, you want to play skate? And I was with me and 10 homies. We was like, hell no, don't do that shit, whatever. So all my homies leave, and I pull up on them. I'm like, what's up? Where y'all from? I was curious because I'd never seen them before. I was in the park every day.
There was no faces.
So they told me, it was like, hey, I'm from Ohio. I'm like, oh shit, I got family in Ohio. Like, where y'all from? They're like, oh, Dayton. Oh, okay. I was like aware of it, but I wasn't like familiar with it. So we started talking, whatever. We found out we had similar interests, and I was like, you know what? Hit me up tomorrow morning, like we parlay, see what I could help y'all with. And hit me up, and then it's history since.
That's dope. That's dope. Alright, cool. So all that, so they fall under the record label umbrella and all that. Okay.
Bad Jeans official.
Got you. Alright, Bad Jeans. Where you get that name from? Cause it's spelled G-E-N-E-S. Yeah. Where'd you get that name from?
So my homie Cam, who is the founder, pretty much he had Bad Jeans as like the retail kind of like apparel part of the previous collective. And so Bad Jeans originally just started as clothes, t-shirts, hats, you know, etc. And we kind of had like a little falling out with the Cisco Pink thing. So he was like, yo, drop that, let's just keep Bad Jeans, and this is what we are, this is who we are. And you know, we took it and ran with it. But pretty much Bad Jeans is the idea that, like, you know, we all come from bad genes, but it's kind of what you make of your genes. We all have free will, so your life is what you make it.
Yeah, that's dope.
Although you might come from some traumatic stuff, you know, generational, you know, warfare. Essentially, it's like you make your life what you want it to be. At the end of the day,
that's it. So what's the process for Tsunami making a song? What's that like?
There's three processes, and I'm sure a lot of artists can relate. But I'll either be thinking of something on the train, or you know, in the Uber, and I'll just write it down, and I'll roll off what I wrote down. Or I'll be making a beat, and then as soon as I hear like the melody that I'm making, or like, you know, whatever drum pattern I put down, I'm like, yeah, I'm recording this right now. So I end up like freestyling something, or one of my homies will send me a beat and I'll sit on it for like a week, and then write to it over time, and then you know, move forward like that. But I got the mic, interface, monitor in the crib, and
so how you go about preparing for like a project with that type of process? Like if you're gonna put together a project.
So and that's actually very interesting, because for me, what that process is like, I will sit down and I'll be like, all right, I haven't released a body of work in, you know, a couple months, so I'll be like, okay, let's see what I've done in those couple months, you know. So I'll have like 40-50 tracks that I'll shuffle through, and I'll be like, okay, let's see what sounds good together. So I start, you know, arranging, placing things together, and I'm like, okay, some of these are cool, some of these gotta go. So I'll have like maybe 4 or 5 tracks that I'll be okay with, and I'll get them remixed, remastered, and then I'll start finding sounds that are similar. Like I'll make beats that are similar to those sounds, and then I'll compile them, and then that's how, like, you know, projects come about.
That's a fly process. Yeah. So you already, like, just from like your things laying around, just the straight tracks, you'll have the skeletons of a project already. And then you'll build from there. Exactly. I got you. Oh, that's a unique process.
Because sometimes, even with those skeletons, I'll have to, like, you know, drop a bone. I'll be like, you don't fit anymore.
You know, from where I was and stuff. Yeah. So, have you made a new project on your new? You said you want to put more love into your music. Have you dropped a project reflecting that yet?
Just recently I dropped a project really late December. It dropped like December 28th, you know, but super intentional. But it's called Bittersweet Harmony, or Bittersweet Symphony, excuse me. Oh no, it is Bittersweet Harmony. I'm bugging. I'm just thinking about the fucking ASAP and shit. But yeah, so with that project, you know, even in the title itself, it's like Bittersweet Harmony. It's like, damn, you know, like so many bitter experiences create this like sweet outcome of like our harmony. You know, like what we do and the things around us that come together and make who we are. We are, as individuals, harmony. You know, like we take all of our experiences and it
put us together.
It makes us us.
That's a fact. You know? That's dope.
So pretty much what that project did for me was it allowed me to look back at, you know, like the last 5 years and see like, okay, all of my crazy ass experiences, you know, led up to this, led up to me being free and open and transparent about those experiences and about showing others that you can come out of those experiences, and also it's really just about sharing it and taking it from up here and getting it out. You know.
So, what's been the response so far?
Oh, it's been amazing. It's about, at the end of this month, it'll be 2 months that it's been out. It's got probably like 100,000 on like Spotify altogether. And a lot of people love it. You know, nobody is surprised that it's like a new type of sound because I've kind of like previewed the sound a few times.
Okay.
So that like kind of, there was like a little
bit
of
of build up. Yeah. Okay.
So people were excited for it. You know, like there was one song I had made in the summer that I was previewing for a while, and people were like, "Yo, when you dropping it? When you dropping it?" It was that Out of Town song, and I was like, "Nah, I can't. It has to be like perfect." Even now, I'm like a little bit like surprised that I put it on that project because I wanted to drop it as a single and have it be really big.
You still plan to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's in the works, but you know, it's like my baby, man. It's like I put my true emotions into it, you know, and I'm allowing people to interpret what they want to interpret, you know.
So is that new for you? No vulnerability of that?
Yes and no, you know, because it's like when you're aggressive, you're vulnerable about the worst side of yourself. You know, you're vulnerable about the fuckery, you know, and that's easy. That's easy to do because every day you talking shit about it. Every day you're doing that, you know. But to talk about your emotional state or where you are spiritually is very different. You know, especially like, you know, not to make it about a gender thing, but as a man, you know, a lot of men are reluctant to share their real feels and emotions. Yeah.
So to put it out there, that's dope, man. It's all right then. So as far as that goes, what does it do for you, like spiritually, like putting out, like switching to like this side of the music? Does it have an effect, or do you think you can stay in this good space you are if you was to still do aggressive music?
I think. Okay. So it would be easy to stay in the same state of mind that I am making aggressive music because I'm a human, you know. So I'm gonna feel a bunch of different types of ways on any given day. Yeah. You know, it's not like every day I'm like, you know, Guru Tsunami, you know, trying to like bless the world, you know. But
it's not namaste every day.
Yeah, you know. But some days it's like, yo, like, you know, I really want to give love, and I want to show people that I have love, even though I come from a struggling environment, or that I come from, you know, doing bullshit in the streets. Like, I still have a lot of love for myself and for the people that are listening and engaging with me in my life. You know.
Where you from?
I'm from the Lower East Side.
Oh yeah, Lower East Side. What? Oh man. So LES. What's LES like?
LES is interesting. They say New York is a melting pot. You know, LES is the epitome of that. But you know, you got all kinds of people. Any lifestyle you want to attain, you can. You know, it's like you want to be like a Fortune 500 dude, it's possible. You know, you want to be a street dude, it's possible. You want to be pretty boy, it's possible. You know, so literally everything is possible. And it turns up in the most disguised ways, you know, like you'll see back blocks, you know, with hella people on them, you know, posted, you know, and then sometimes you'll see blocks with, you know, designer shops and people, you know, balling out, you know, so a lot of people cling to the LES because you can do both. You know, you can be that street dude who got hella bread, you know, be in the trenches, and then go over to the west side and ball out.
Yeah, the Tribeca, Soho's right there. Yeah, so accessible. Yeah. So how does that? All right, because like, how does that play into like the music, like the being from LES and being around so many different aspects, just the melting pot of it, of being in Manhattan. You get what I'm saying? Everything is like a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Similarly to how we were talking about travels and getting other experiences, it's very similar to that. It's like you can experience a lot of things, you know. Like, I know people, you know, from the Upper West Side, Upper East Side, that play like they're from Brownsville, East New York. You know, and then I know people from Brownsville or East New York that play like they're from the Hamptons, or, you know, you know. But it's like you can reach what you want to reach in any given aspect, you know. So it's very interesting. I will say that it's very interesting.
Yeah. So, who's some of your influences as far as music?
Shoot. Well, when I was young, you know, growing up, my grandfather, I always spent time at his house in East New York, and he would play me jazz, blues, and like that was his record collection, jazz, blues, and that's all I would hear a lot. I couldn't give you exact, you know, artists, but I know that sonically and just that energy was like encapsulated in me. And my mom was a big Christian Baptist. We went to Baptist church, so I would listen to a lot of gospel music as well. And those were like my first influences in terms of music. Then I got a little bit older, like middle school, started listening to artists like, you know, Jay-Z, 50 Cent, Kanye, you know, and those still remain to be some of my great influences. That's because they, you know, they paved the way, you know, as entrepreneurs and as great artists, you know. So yeah, just like growing into music, I would say that. When I got to high school, you know, my palette diversified a little bit. I started listening to like more trap music. I listened to like Lil Wayne, Gucci, Wiz Khalifa, Mac Miller. So I kind of was going in a different lane. And then as I started to listen to Mac Miller, where I was at the time, I would also listen to like country music and rock music, so alternative stuff.
Diversifying stuff like that. Gotcha.
Because where I went to school in Pennsylvania, so a lot of people were introducing me into new music that I was very unfamiliar with, and
started liking it.
Yeah, I was like, alright, this isn't bad, you know. Cause at the end of the day, music is music.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know, if it induces a feeling in you, then it's getting its job done.
That's a fact.
You know,
that's a fact.
But in recent years, I draw inspiration from like, you know, Travis Scott. It's hard to deny, but Lil Uzi, you know, Playboy Cardi, they have a big influence. Just because you hear it so much, it's almost impossible not to be influenced.
Yeah, not to have some of it in the music. You know? That's a fact. Alright, cool. So so with this, what's the goal basically? Is the goals like the recognition and the rewards from it? You know, is it the lifestyle? What necessarily do you want to come from your career?
You know, all that stuff is beautiful, you know, but all that glitters isn't gold.
That's a fact.
So, personally, I would love to attain those things. However, I have a different approach with what I would do with it. You know, I'm very community based. So I like to give back with my time and energy to my community, and I mean other communities outside of mine, you know. But realistically, I would love to create like a foundation that gives people the opportunity to do like mission trips and just take people on these like week and a half trips to like Africa or India, you know, specifically like, you know, Western Africa or Southern Africa, and just provide experience, you know, like allow them to work with their hands, know that they can do things with their hands, but also like give good energy to people who they've never seen or they may have not otherwise seen unless they were given that opportunity.
That's fine. That's dope. All right, then. Cool. So now, what's the plans for 2021? What's the rest of the plan for the rest of the year? What you want to get into?
So realistically, I would. Right now, my focus is director level. You know,
Bad Genes.
Yeah. So I don't care if I don't drop anything for the rest of the year, but I know some people who would care.
Are we going to get some visuals from what you call it, Bittersweet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've got 2 videos from that project that I really want to do. I might stretch it and do 4, you know, because a lot of the songs are really dope. But I got a feature project coming out with all the features I've done with a bunch of artists from New York, out of state, that I want people to see, you know, other artists are just as good as me, you know. And then I also have like another project. I got a lot of projects. Quarantine helped me see that I could create and not have to put every single thing out that I create. You know, doing things with more strategy. So,
Okay.
I got a number of projects I could put out, but it's all about timing
and trying to put this label together.
Exactly.
Shit. Got you. Who are some of the artists from the label that we should get familiar with?
I mean, everybody generally is amazing artists, but the 3 that are the most like present in social media and like across streaming platforms, my boy Dirty White Vans, you know, that's DRTY WHTVNS, and then my boy Zola 182, and then our girl, we got a dope female artist, Proxy. Yeah, she's amazing. You know, but everybody on the team produces. You know, they're relatively familiar with engineering. You know, we got photographers, graphic designers, videographers. So it's a really creative team. You know, we got 2 other dudes, well 3 really. Got my boy Dos Grandiose and Super Duper Don. And then my boy Mark Andre, who's an artist from out here. But we got a lot of potential as a team to do well, and I want to see them do well.
So, does it get difficult managing so many different artists, creatives?
Well, that's the thing, you know, like it's kind of a self-managed entity. You know, it's like you get what you put in, you know, but I'm working hard on the business side so that I could see if I could get some extra change to help push these artists, you know, because it's like it's hard to keep working or going to battle when you feel like you can't win the war, you know, or if you see no progression.
That's a fact. So you need some little wins to keep the morale high.
Exactly.
That's a fact.
So that's my goal. You know, I'm trying to keep the morale high. So all the time I'm pushing to make sure that we stay positive.
This industry could be very discouraging. Very discouraging. Yeah, that's a fact, man. So good luck with that, man. I hope everything works out correctly, man. No problem. I'm looking forward to seeing how you put together Bad Genes, man.
Yeah.
That's dope. Let the people know how they can follow you, man. And what you got coming up.
Shoot. can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TSUNAMI 811, and Facebook is Bad Jeans. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, Spotify T$UNAMI, SoundCloud T$UNAMI, all that across all platforms. And lastly, I do want to say big shout out to my producer, Calabasas, my boy Casey. This dude is young. He's like 19, and he started making beats not too long ago, like probably about 5 years ago. And ever since he's made beats, he got familiar with like FL, and I know one of his homies, Michael, who I met when I first went out to LA in 2018. He connected us, and he was like, "Yo, I think y'all make dope music together." And same thing with Bad Jeans. It was just like history ever since. Like homie is dope, and he's someone also to look out for. I'm trying to get him on my label, but he gotta finish school. But he's a dope dude. I got some dope shit, man. Dope shit.
It's a fact, man. Appreciate you. This was a dope experience, man.
Yes,
I'm looking forward to, like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing what you got for the rest of 2021, man. Slap Shot, you be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share.
Yes, sir. Tap in.
Yes, sir. You might want to do that, man. And we out.